shed. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cute. A couple people want to kneel down and help me grab snakes if you feel comfortable doing so. We'll see what we can find over here.
So, good choice. Dig in there.
Oh my gosh.
Get him, Noah. Don't be shy, just go ahead. You got like, no, don't eat me.
What did you get, Musk?
Probably verging on at least a subadult, potentially an adult. Maybe in the next year will become sexually reproductive. But yeah, so you know, you kind of just like estimate. I would say at least like 30 to maybe 40 centimeters. Kind of just eyeball it. But for sexing, you will see there's a flap there at the bottom end, that the scale flap, that's where the vent is. So the vent is where the snake will go to the washroom, where the snake will release that stinky musk, also where it will reproduce. And so snakes store their reproductive organs past the vent in the tail. And so male snakes have hemipenes, and they will show a bulge past the vent before the tail reduces into a taper. And so they typically have longer tails than females because there's a bit of a bulge, and then it will start to taper, whereas females will just go almost right into a taper. So does anyone have any thoughts? So often if we're ever unsure, like we'll do what you're doing here, which you'll take a picture. If you're unable to confirm in the field, or at least you're always estimating in the field, we're never confirming, unless say you have a gravid female. So a female that has eggs or live young, they can get quite thick, and sometimes you can like feel them at certain times of year. But does anyone have any guesses?
Male.
Female.
Oh, I was gonna guess female.
Put up your hand if male. Put up your hand if female. My guess is female.
Oh. There's
But
a little bulge, so it does
there's
look
a
a little
small bulge
confusing.
because the female does still have organs, right? But it's just, they're much smaller than the males. So what I was saying to the other group is, you may be looking at it like I've never looked at a snake's tail before to try to guess this. But when you see a male, you're like, that's a male. It's pretty obvious once you see it. So, but the thing is, females are more commonly found under boards because often they are trying to incubate eggs or incubate young. So we find many more females than males. So we have permits to handle and hold snakes, and they will be returned where we found them. But we did have a question about like size of board and like material. So for our protocol, we only use plywood boards, and we've tried to design the protocol to make it as easy as possible for people to apply. Definitely the bigger the boards, the better. You're gonna get more snakes, you're gonna get bigger snakes. But we have been quite successful at getting big snakes under our boards, which are 4x2.